For me, it represents a peaceful spot in a chaotic world. And it's a place where I've always just been myself. And I feel like that every part of me that is all scattered around every other place I am comes together right here. It's like all the neurons come together and I am who I was meant to be when I'm here. And one of my favorite ways to start the day is with a devotional. And my daughter-in-law gave me a book for my birthday when I turned 65, and it's Devotions for the Beach. And it's just spot on, and I think forevermore I'll be bringing that book with me on all my trips to the beach. And just loving spending that time with the Lord before I start my day, and then thanking Him for all this beauty and the nature here and the family here and the friends here and just all the wonderful things that happen in this wonderful place. When I was young, the guys got up early and went across the street on that long fishing pier, and they got their day started before sunrise because that's supposedly when all the fish are biting. So they would beat everybody up and make their coffee and get on out there and get those fish caught before most of the rest of us were even up. My grandson Leon got the fishing bug from my husband last year, his papa. So that's a tradition that Bob has started.
Finger, hold that up to the head. And when you do, you're going to let the finger off the line. I'm Bob Hansard. My first memory of coming to Alligator Point was when my family was at Panama City and I had started dating Babs, and I came over, drove all the way around the coast to come visit her one afternoon, and this was the first time that I had ever seen Alligator Point. It looks a lot different today than it did back then because you could drive for probably a couple football field length between sand dunes and houses. There weren't that many houses out here at that point in time. The place is deep. It's very small. There are very few places. The one place that I really enjoyed going to that has no longer been occupied in the past, I'd say 8 or 10 years, and that's the Oaks, and it's across the street from Angelo's now. We also didn't used to go to Posey's when we first started coming down here because it said steam room outside, and I guess we did not understand what steam room meant. Plus the fact that they also did regular frying and grilling, but we figured they just steamed all their seafood, and that didn't sound very appetizing.
Noah Posey. I was born and raised in Meadowlark, 3 miles up the road, and I moved to Panacea. I went down here and bought this, where you see the motel is down here now. I bought it, run it for a long time. I finally sold the motel and restaurant, moved back up here with my son, and I've been here ever since. It's a nice place to live, and it's slowed up a lot now on account of the economy and the net ban and stuff like that. So everybody's struggling, but it's still a good place to live. Another thing hurting the economy here is that when the net ban come on, I don't know, you know what I mean, a seine yard. You fish with a 600-yard seine on with a pocket, and we had about 11 seine yards. They catch anywhere from 20 to 30,000 pounds a day, but it's no more. They said that net ban didn't help us none. It done away with the fish, really. A long time ago, it was right up next door here was a old stump. The water come out was cure-all. That's Panacea means cure-all. Is the Indian name. They used to have a little old tram that come all the way from Sop-Choppy. The railroad run through Sop-Choppy. That tram would bring people into Panacea, and they get the water and stuff. And we had about four big motels here. Now they're not here no more, so we don't have much to draw people.
I love the natural beauty of this place and the fact that even on a busy day you may see 10 other people here, but as a rule you're about the only person on the beach, so you have the quietness and you have the beauty all around you, and just focus on God's creation when you're here. In 1959, my dad worked for Coastal States Life Insurance Company. And this was right after we had moved to Atlanta. And my dad had an opportunity to bring his whole family to Alligator Point to stay in the cottage. The house belonged to the Caldwell family. And the Caldwells were, well, Governor Caldwell at that time was governor of Florida. Another wonderful thing about this place is just about everybody you meet has some kind of a childhood connection here.
Well, my name's Chad Singleton. Originally from Tallahassee, but I live in Hotspur, Florida now. And the house we're staying in, we rent it now, but the house we're staying in is a house that my granddaddy built like 40 years ago. And I just like being down here, just get away from things, you know. It's nothing really. It's really, you know, I've been coming down here since I was little, you know, since I was able to be carried down here, you know, and I always enjoyed that, you know.
His name was Jack Rudlow, and he lived in a tiny home in the middle of Panacea, Florida, on Dickerson Bay, which is one of the most beautiful, pristine bays I've ever seen. And he had a dock that went out into the water, and it was just teeming with life. I mean, just every possible little crustacean, little tiny piece of sea life you could imagine was growing there and documented there.
My name is Jack Rudlow. I am the president of Gulf Specimen Marine Laboratory in Panacea, Florida. And I moved to Florida in 1958 from New York City, Brooklyn actually, and then decided as I was coming out of high school that I really liked being in the environment so much that I started a business of collecting marine life and sending it out to schools and research labs. Most of the struggle has been over wetlands and swamplands and preserving and protecting them. What's at stake is your future, you know, our kids' futures, the seafood industry. So why do these people fight this to the death? Across the street we have Mike's Marine. All those boats, recreational fishermen storming out there, and they are diametrically opposed to wetland protection and the bill. I would hope that your generation and younger people will be more enlightened, and when all the old codgers disappear, this knowledge will be there, and then they'll realize the importance. You come over to something like the first time on I-10, you come across Pensacola Bay, and there, just driving, you see water, and you can see flurries of fish and bait fish swarming around. It's just this tremendous energy of life. So that makes this part an absolute unique treasure.
Hi, my name is Sam. I'm 9 years old. When I grow up, I would like to bring my kids here. Not a lot of people know this place, and I think that it's just special.